everybody, and welcome back to Red Devils TV. Now, this is your Manchester United reaction this is your Manchester United fan reaction to the Ronaldo interview. This is part one of that interview. So, where can I really talk about? So, it was an hour-long interview, and obviously we've got the rest of the part two coming tomorrow on Thursday, which is the 17th of November. So, with Cristiano Ronaldo, it was a quite PG type interview, really. Oh, my cat. It was quite a type PG interview with, you know what, come here. Harry, let's make your debut. Say hello to everyone. Anyway. So what was the interview about, really? So many quotes came in about the likes of the structure of the football club, Ralph Rangnick, the death of his baby boy, about how young players don't really care, and talk about how he loves the fans and even non-United fans. So yeah, there's quite a lot to cover into. That's what you're going to get when you watch an hour-long interview. But for me, it was a good interview as a whole. None of the really explosive topics were really talked about. Obviously, the emotional part of it was with the death of his son, and obviously the way he feels about it all, and the way he feels about the club. So we'll start off with the first part. So obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo talks about how when he was at Manchester United the first time, he obviously knew how great Sir Alex was to Manchester United, how much he respected the team, the players and everyone. And then all of a sudden, don't you dare, my cat's trying to jump up. But anyway, Ronaldo was talking about the structure before he rejoined Manchester United. His first time at Manchester United. And as a whole, it was Ronaldo said, in his own words, Ronaldo said that it was like a clock had stopped and nothing had changed. So he said he comes back 13 years later and everything's still the same. The technology, the staff, the equipment, everything. So, strictly speaking, Manchester United are 13 years in the past, and that's obviously crazy when you think about it. And obviously we know how poor the structure is at Manchester United with the Glazers and everything, and the Glazers will be mentioned tomorrow in tomorrow's interview part, which I'm really looking forward to, actually, because they've obviously done it on purpose, where they knew that everyone would be watching tonight, and then they're going to put the more explosive parts in part two to make sure that they keep the viewers interested, because they're not going to put all the interesting things in tonight and put all the, you could say, less explosive parts in part two, because then no one will watch it. So for me, I feel like for that as a whole, I feel like Cristiano Ronaldo isn't wrong. You're allowed to be frustrated. You're allowed to be confused that you're coming back to a club that you thought was okay. You knew that they weren't where they're supposed to be in Manchester United, where they weren't fighting for titles. But he never expected us to be this badly run, which is crazy. And we've already seen some sneak bits of tomorrow's interview where the Glazers don't care about the club, they don't care about football. He doesn't have respect for Ten Hag, or he feels betrayed by the club. People have tried to force him out, but all that'll be discussed tomorrow when we get the full context of it all. But anyway, 1 second. Are we back? Right, cool. Anyway, what you call it? Yeah, the cat wanted to leave the room. Where was I? I've completely lost my track now. What's it? What was it? So we're going to get the more explosive parts tomorrow, as we see with the Glazers, Ten Hag, Ronaldo's full truth, and that's pretty interesting. But obviously, this is part one. We're going to be covering everything that we talked about tonight. So anyway, Ronaldo's opinion on the Rangnick appointment. For me, I feel like this was very disrespectful, because he said that he didn't know who Ralf Rangnick was before he was appointed as interim manager. He also said that he didn't really knew what he was doing. He was like, why did the club hire a sporting director as the coach? And he was like, I would still call him boss, because that's the way I believe. I feel like even though he was appointed as a boss, I didn't respect him as a boss, which I think is quite disrespectful, actually, Cristiano Ronaldo, because I'm not going to lie on camera and say that I knew everything about Ralf Rangnick, but I knew a little bits about Ralf Rangnick. And when I found out he was becoming our interim manager, I was somewhat excited. But I did more research on him because I wanted to know exactly what I was getting. Obviously, I was disappointed with how it ended, because Ralf Rangnick, to me, was, well, the deal was that Ralf Rangnick was going to be our interim manager for 6 months, carry us out throughout the season, and then go upstairs and be our sporting director. But then obviously he didn't get that role when the summer was over. So, excuse me, it's been a long day. He also talked about how he thought that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer deserved more time, which I thought was thought that was very controversial, because I wanted Ole out before the Liverpool game where we lost 5-0. I wanted Ole out before then, probably about 2 or 3 weeks before that game, actually. And then after the Liverpool loss, that's when loads of people started jumping on the train and saying that Ole out. And obviously we tried riding it out. We had a difficult run of games, and then we tried, after an international break for 2 weeks, that we had Watford, and we thought we were going to easily beat them, but then we lost 4-1. And then that was Ole history. So I personally feel like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's time was up, which I feel like he was here longer than what he should have been. I just feel like that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the player, is nothing like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the manager. Yes, he gave us some good nights. That is very good. He's not been our worst manager appointment since Sir Alex. But for me, I just thought Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's time was up. I know the players loved him and respected him, but United fans, we weren't getting enough. And you could say that if we kept Ole, things might have been different, but who knows? We've got Erik ten Hag now, and that's what I'm happy about. But what else? Ex-players were mentioned. So Ronaldo talked about Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Wayne Rooney, and said that they not my friends, they're my colleagues, which I found quite interesting, because these are players, Roy Keane and Gary Neville especially, who were more role models to Cristiano Ronaldo when he was firstly at Manchester United and being young and everything. So, sorry, I'm full of a cold. But Ronaldo's, I feel like he feels like the criticism that they've given him is undeserved. And to be fair, Piers Morgan was complete brown-nosing Ronaldo, by the way. It was an absolute joke. It was more like, I compliment you, you compliment me, this, and this. And it's not a proper interview. It's literally just someone just there speaking their mind. And it's like, Piers Morgan, when he interviewed Andrew Tate, when that interview happened, there was back and forth backlash, giving each other opinions and that. But no, literally Piers Morgan spreading Ronaldo's cheeks and just licking them out. Like, that is absolute. It was the absolute brown nose. And I know it's a bit of a tan on the interview, actually. But anyway, no. So yeah, I feel like that Piers, it isn't a proper interview. It's not where I interview you, I ask you a question, you give me your answer, and then I tell you if I think you're right or wrong. We know that Piers Morgan has set up a variety of questions that he just agrees with Cristiano Ronaldo. And if I was asking Ronaldo a question, what questions would I ask? That's actually a good comment for people to ask in the comments. If you made it this far into the video, what would your comment of the day be? So if you were asking Ronaldo any question, what would your question be? So for me, I've not really thought about it, to be honest. It just came to me on the spot. So I would probably ask about last season and who was toxic in the dressing room, I think. Because I feel like that the upstairs situation Ronaldo has no control over. I feel like that with a personal level, I wanted to know that who were the toxic players in our dressing room. And I would like to know if they're still at our club or they're already gone. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. Ronaldo also mentioned about Sir Alex, about how Sir Alex convinced him to come back to Manchester United. He played a massive part in it, and he was very close to joining Man City. What could have been? Who knows? Ronaldo could have either performed really well for Man City, got 40 goals last season, or things could have played out worse. Who knows? Maybe we would have got Haaland and City got Ronaldo. I would have actually liked that, to be honest. But anyway, apart from that, what else is there really to talk about? Obviously, the death of his baby boy, which is obviously really heartbreaking. It was nice to see, actually, that... Well, not nice, but it was good to see that Ronaldo is actually human. He's not a pawn on a chessboard. He's an actual human being, and it's nice to see that one of the world's greatest players is human. He's not fully egoed. He isn't emotionalness. Is that the word? Where he has no emotion anyway. He's a very clever, intelligent, amazing person. And obviously, I feel like that how I felt before this interview happened, before it was announced to the public. I still feel like Ronaldo's time is up at Manchester United, but I still respect him as a player. I still respect him as a legend. I still respect him as one of the greats. So yeah, obviously we know that Ronaldo will never play for Manchester United again. This interview's already happened. There's rumours coming out that Manchester United are linked to Kylian Mbappe, Harry Kane, Victor Osimhen, João Felix. We're linked to all sorts of players, and that's going to happen because we've lost one of the world's greatest strikers. And you could debate that he's not one of the world's greatest strikers anymore, but he was one of the greatest, and he still brings a lot to the team. Last season, for example, but for me this season, his time's up. And Cristiano, if you ever were to watch this, I wish you all the best. I look forward to seeing tomorrow's interview in part 2. But anyway, apart from that, what else have we really got to talk about? Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was very much PG. It wasn't as explosive tonight. But anyway, yeah, thank you for watching today's video. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share. Obviously, the World Cup is coming up. If you do want any World Cup content where I review Manchester United players or I watch certain games, let me know and I'll give you your opinion on it. But anyway, thank you for watching today's video. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share. And yeah, thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow for part 2. Goodbye.